Dear Scotland, I am sure there is a deal I have forgotten, but you are with me still. Although I am in many senses an abbreviated man, reduced to this poor marble and with no means of locomotion, no hands or even arms, and with, if not the better portion of a man's body, then certainly a significant portion left very signally unrepresented, yet still the seats of heart and mind remain. This elicits a type of hope. There is often hope. And if I can no longer hold a pen, I can speak, after a fashion, to this time beyond my own, within which, as I understand it, communications are either constrained to something approaching the petty din of teaspoons upon saucers, or else the cries of those dismayed, lost and degraded, the unattended men and women, the deserted and unguided children of no matter what age. We can still, every one of us, be children when necessity or fancy takes us. In other words, your century, this almost untouched century, this already much abused century, is not unlike my own. And from my place within the great hall, I know you and hear you as you pass, wandering to and fro as I no longer can, or else never could, the status of a statue being an equivocal one. I am, I must confess, neither quite the man nor quite the stone I was. Whatever I am, I have all the time the world of art provides and all of the generous leisure afforded to the dead in which to learn your troubles and delights. And in the night, when I'm left alone with other forms bereft of motion, other echoes of faces both notorious and loved, I still attend. Beyond these walls, I feel your lives as they incrementally create their possibilities, spring up like orchards with wholesome and beguiling and unholy fruit, and meanwhile destroying or avoiding the wide expanding webs of other opportunities. I feel your futures stretching out like reckless sleepers. And would it be wise for a shadow, a mere object, to offer you advice? Perhaps not. And yet, if I keep silent, who else will insist that you hear them? Only the usual voices of special interests, the calls of self-appointed power, both temporal and divine, and naturally the press. As an author of fictions, I feel I am properly qualified to comment upon the work of pastors, politicians, and pressmen, and to question the unending influence of those who blithely publish falsehoods and call them truths. As a man who once presented men with honest lies, I am grieved to find my trade so ill-applied and poorly practiced. As a stone, I am astonished by mankind and find you to be the worst angels, the most noble monsters. In this again, your age is not unlike my own. So, what might I tell you that could serve you well, dear Scotland? Perhaps that you would not be wise to ever make a bargain that buys a portion of the devil and a promise to your meanest needs. Rise beyond the glamour of mere commerce and the morals of Sawney Bean. With compromise and forgetting of your best selves, your fortunes may prosper passingly. But who will take your darker burdens from you as you near your end? What will you leave your children beyond the legacies of wastefulness? Indulge wrongs less and see them more. And what of your joys, Scotland? What of your pleasures beyond the influence of preaching and harsh masters? Let your time fill with passions and adventures. No loves, ones that would cross continents to be fulfilled and think it nothing. Be nurtured on moonshine and distilled reality and the mercy of true hearts. Become a place of the wildest and yet the most prudent extremes, and when you view the world, do so clearly, not through the narrow tunnel of a dirty spyglass, not through a straw. If you do not long to find yourself transported into other countries, be travellers in heart and mind at least. Be large citizens of unanticipated worlds, who together might form a land of wonders, perhaps douce wonders, wee wonders, sleek-it wonders, but all the same. Be not penny-wise and virtue-foolish, and dear Scotland, as each short and tender span of your good people burns away, help them find the will to speak the truth, resist oppression, and live, and live, and live, as bright as any hope or daydream, and as deep as any star.